Hello. I today am going to show you how to prepare some tasty and energetically invigorating ceremonial cacao. Let's put some music on and make this more festive and enjoyable, shall we? Today I'll be playing a very cool song by an Italian psychedelic band named Jennifer Gentle, which I really appreciate. This song is No Mind in My Mind, and I should probably be able to complete the video within the time frame that the song lasts. Alright, so what are we going to need to make this ceremonial cacao? Firstly, we're going to need ceremonial cacao. This is the paste. Excuse me. At Eternity in a Box, we offer the paste and the whole beans. The paste is pretty ideal for preparing beverages out of, so we're going to go ahead and blend this up. This is a 2-ounce bag, and I'm going to go ahead and use the whole thing, and it's going to make an extremely strong drink that's probably able to be consumed by several people, or one cacao-loving person such as myself. We're going to put a little bit of cayenne pepper in it. This is beneficial for dilating the blood vessels and allowing the psychoactive as well as the nutritive properties of the cacao to be fully accessed by the body. Maca. This is another superfood. Just as cacao is, maca is extremely rich in vitamins and minerals, and it also provides a really profound, energizing quality and helps with clarity of mind and mental cognition. Shilajit, as I showed in the last video, is a extremely profound mineral blend from the Himalayan mountains. It is very beneficial, not only in the trace elements it provides, but it allows for increased digestibility of other minerals and nutrition. So it's a really healthy thing to consume alongside of other healthy plants, such as the cacao and the maca. Spring water. This is spring water that I just warmed up. It's pretty steamy. It's a pretty good temperature, though. You don't want it too hot, because the maca and the shilajit are raw food products, so too much heat is going to damage the enzymes and some of the active minerals and compounds. Then we're going to add a little bit of agave nectar for taste, as well as a little bit of organic coconut cream. Oh yeah, and again, everything here is organic, so go organic. We're going to use the blender for this. First of all, give thanks to all these wonderful plants for being here, to be able to provide nutrition. The blessings of the earth are many, and it is wonderful to be here, able to partake of such healthy things. I'm very grateful for this. So, gonna take the cacao and empty the contents into the blender. I have 24 ounces of the warm spring water here. Go ahead and pour all of that in there. The maca, anywhere between 1 heaping teaspoon and 2. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 on this instance. The cayenne pepper, this is however strong you want it. You can add as much as you'd like. I'm going to go for a good amount here. The more you have, the more that it will help the digestibility of the active compounds, like I said. But if you don't want it too spicy, just a tiny, tiny pinch is also going to be beneficial. The shilajit, you want right about a gram worth, which looks something like this. Yep. And then the coconut cream, it's actually really good without it, but the cream really adds creaminess. So it's just going to increase the general enjoyment of the beverage. And organic coconuts, never a bad thing to add into the diet. So I'm going to add maybe probably like 1/5 of a cup or something like that. And agave, generally anything that's nutritional and medicinal, it is good to avoid sugar for the most part because the body seems to digest the medicinal qualities of plants less when it is absorbing sugar. Perhaps that is because sugar is hard to process. It could be the fact that sugar is toxic past a certain dosage range. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but that's kind of a general rule of thumb in herbalism is if you're making a medicinal tea or something, you don't want to add sugar. So anyways, I'm not going to add very much agave here, maybe a tablespoon or so, but if you want more, it's not going to be the worst thing. So go ahead and blend this up for about 15 seconds or so. Should be just about good to go. Then I'm going to go ahead and sip it to make sure that I made it appropriately enjoyable to the palate. Yes, wonderful. Quite spicy with the amount of cayenne that I added, but I can dig it. So, why ceremonial cacao, you may be asking? And what is ceremonial cacao? Let me move these objects out of the way. Ceremonial cacao differs pretty significantly from cacao that most people have experienced. If you're familiar with the term heirloom, or the idea of hybridization of plants, this is a pretty relevant concept for understanding what the ceremonial cacao is and how it differs from other cacao. Most cacao that one has access to nowadays has been hybridized, or it could be called modernized. What this means is that humans have bred it over, thousands of years, hundreds of years at least, to change essentially the natural genetic structure of it. It's almost like, you could say almost like organic GMO. It's not as detrimental as, modern GMOs and, doing it in labs and gene splicing and things like that. But what they did was essentially choose genes that they found favorable for whatever their reasons were, and then crossbred plants with those same characteristics so as to isolate those genetic properties and amplify them over time. So anyways, cacao was used for ritual and magic and divination. It's been a ceremonial plant. It has been a teacher plant. It has been an entheogen for a long time, thousands of years. This is how it's been used in Central America. And when the Spanish came over, and I'm not really good with history, but when the Spanish came over, they saw the natives drinking the cacao and they were interested in it, and they tried it, and I think that they enjoyed the effects of it and the qualities that it offered, but they also were not as pleased with the flavor of it. So they started adding milk and sugar in particular. And that, over time, is what evolved into the practice of making hot chocolate. But what this did to the genetics of the plant was it changed the composition of it, or it changed the chemical composition of it. Cacao, for a long time, was something that nature developed to have a particularly strong effect on our consciousness, and that's why it was used as an entheogen and used in meditations and divination for so long. When the Westerners started to breed it, they developed the genes to suit the palate, to make it more creamy, higher fat content, and they might have even intended to lower the psychoactive and consciousness-enhancing properties of it. It's hard to say, but whether or not they intended that, that was the ultimate effect that came about from breeding it in that manner. So what we have here is unhybridized cacao that is from the Guatemalan jungle, and it is the way that nature intended it. This genetic lineage has not been interfered with by humans. This is what the natives and the shaman have used and still use to this day. It's very good stuff, very enjoyable, and very powerful in the way that it affects the mind and the consciousness. It increases awareness significantly. People attribute modern cacao to being something of a stimulant, like giving you a buzz, or people even say like caffeine kind of buzz. And this is not really the case with this cacao. The ceremonial cacao increases awareness, but it's more of a perceptual or spiritual awareness, if you will. And that's part of why it is so profound in meditations. If in esoteric terms, what it's doing is it's activating the third eye chakra. It's bringing energy up into the head and increasing general awareness, not only physical sensory stimulus like sight, but also in an energetic and spiritual sense. It's attuning one to subtle vibrations in their surroundings. The other main property that cacao has, and this is how it's used a lot of times in Central America now, is for therapy. It's very beneficial in opening the heart. It can provide an increase in a feeling of community, a feeling of love, a feeling of empathy. So drinking ceremonial cacao with loved ones and maybe sharing a good discussion can be very valuable for somebody who perhaps has anxiety or something that is bothering them. It just helps you to open up and feel love. And what I've learned through hosting a few cacao ceremonies with the community is that one of the main values and one of the main tools that we have at our disposal when using ceremonial cacao is to use the throat. Because if the plant is activating the heart and the third eye, the chakra in between those is the throat. So by opening the throat, we are allowing this energy channel to fully open and be able to flow. So open your heart, open your mind, and speak love, speak goodness into the world. That's what we do at the cacao ceremonies, and it's a pretty nice experience to just communicate love and positivity to your community. So I think this is long enough now. I'm on to the third song here. I hope you guys enjoyed this and will enjoy some ceremonial cacao. Plants are good. Humans are good. Let's be good humans and honor the plants. Love you guys. Bye.